So, what if I told you the secret to changing your entire financial future wasn't some huge salary or a lucky stock pick? What if it was just a simple habit that starts with $10 a day? Let's break down exactly how that works.
Right off the bat, let me ask you this. Do you honestly believe you need a six-figure income or some massive windfall to build real wealth? It's what most of us are taught to think, right? Well, today, we're going to flip that idea on its head.
Because if that is what you believe, I'm here to tell you you've simply been taught the wrong game. The real path to financial freedom isn't about these giant, heroic leaps. Nope. It's about small, consistent steps that are way more powerful than you think. Okay, so let's start by totally dismantling what I call the big money myth. This idea that you have to start with a lot of money to end up with a lot of money.
Here's the simple, unglamorous truth. Most real, lasting wealth is not built overnight. It's built slowly, methodically, with small amounts of money put to work over and over again for a long, long time.
And that, right there, is the secret in a nutshell. We're talking about taking small, almost unnoticeable daily savings and turning them into absolutely life-changing wealth. And the two magic ingredients that make it all possible? Automation and time.
So let's really dig into that first ingredient. It's all about understanding the incredible and frankly often underestimated power of these small, consistent actions.
You know, the best way to think about this is something you already do every single day without a second thought. Brushing your teeth. Seriously, brushing your teeth takes, 2 minutes? It feels like nothing. But the result of doing it every day for a lifetime is massive. A healthy smile, no problems, and, well, the result of not doing it is also massive, just in a really painful, really expensive way. Your money habits work the exact same way. So it really boils down to two different paths. On one side, you've got the daily leak. You know, that fancy coffee, that little impulse buy on Amazon. It feels like nothing. On the other side, you've got the daily save, which also feels pretty small. But here's the key. Daily actions don't stay small. They stack, they compound, and eventually, they literally define your financial life. Okay, this brings us to the most critical part of making this whole thing work. You cannot, I repeat, cannot rely on willpower. You have to automate your success. You know, this idea was basically perfected by David Bach in his incredible book, The Automatic Millionaire. His whole point was that this isn't about being perfect or having iron discipline. It's about setting up a system so you win automatically. Your savings just grow in the background without you ever thinking about it. So why is automation such a game changer? Well, first, it completely removes the daily debate. You know, that little voice asking, should I save today? Or second, it stops your financial plan from being held hostage by your mood. Bad day? Who cares? The money moved anyway. And most importantly, it installs a system. And we all know systems, not motivation, are what build lasting wealth. The investing legend John Bogle, the guy who founded Vanguard, he put it perfectly. He believed that most of us don't need some complex, fancy strategy to win. What we really need is a simple plan that we can actually stick with for the long haul. A plan we just won't quit. And his whole philosophy boiled down to these three dead simple rules. Keep your strategy simple, keep your investing costs as low as possible, and above all else, stay consistent through the good times and the bad. This small, automatic investing plan works so well because it makes consistency the default setting. It's the real superpower. All right, let's get to the fun part, the most powerful part of this whole thing, the math. This is where you'll see exactly how a simple $10 a day goes from being a small habit to a truly life-changing number. Think about it this way. $10 a day is about $300 a month. In scenario A, you spend that on little extras and poof, it's just gone. But in scenario B, you set up an automatic investment for that same $300. Now, let's watch what happens. After just 10 years, and let's assume a pretty conservative 8% average annual return, which is right around the historical stock market average, that tiny habit has already grown to roughly $55,000. I mean, that's a serious chunk of change from what felt like pocket money. But here's where the magic of compounding really starts to kick in. You keep that exact same habit going for 25 years, and it explodes to over $275,000. Do you see that?
The growth isn't a straight line anymore. It's curving up like a rocket.
And now for the final, truly mind-blowing number. After 35 years, that simple, automated $10 a day habit can grow to nearly $600,000. Think about that. It's the same $10, the same daily choice, but it creates two completely different lives. Time does all the heavy lifting for you. Your only job is to just stay consistent.
So you're probably thinking, okay, I'm sold. How do I actually start? Well, you start right now. We're going to turn this theory into action with a super simple 7-day challenge. Here's the whole plan. Day 1, super simple. Just find your $10 leak. Is it coffee, snacks, a subscription you forgot about? Day 2, you automate a weekly $70 transfer to a savings account. Then you start replacing old habits with new ones, like taking a walk instead of making a purchase. By day 7, you just review. The whole goal is just to prove to yourself that saving $70 this week felt almost effortless.
And here's a powerful little psychological tool to help you along the way. It's called the if-then rule. It goes like this. If you feel that urge to buy a small extra, then you first transfer just a few bucks, $2, maybe $5, to your savings account. This simple action starts to rewire your brain's reward system from spending to saving. It's amazing. Now, of course, there are some common traps. People try to save way too much way too soon. They get super strict and then they burn out. Or they save the money but forget the most important part, investing it. The fixes are simple. Start small, allow yourself a planned treat every now and then, and once you have a little emergency fund, automate your investing. So we end up right back where we started. It's the same $10 a day, the same 24 hours, but that one single choice, made consistently, creates two completely different financial futures. So the only real question left is, which one are you going to start building today?